When she first became poorly, we just thought it was sickness and diarrhoea. When she didn't get any better after a few days, we took her to Wigan Infirmary, and you kind of know there's something badly wrong when there's about 10 doctors and nurses all around her. And we were told that she was suffering from toxic shock syndrome.
So can you describe who Gemma is and what she was like?
Gemma is my daughter. She was your typical 13-year-old girl. Just got into makeup, just got into fashion, boys. She swam competitively for Hindley Swimming Club at breaststroke, and she also played flute in the flute choir and concert band for Wigan Council.
Like, just a couple of days before Gemma started getting the symptoms and everything, like, what were you all doing, like, as a family?
She'd gone to swimming club on the Sunday. She'd rang me up to pick her up early because she'd come on a period. And she was gutted because she was training so hard. She was also gutted because we were going away on the Monday to Conway for the week. On the Monday, I remember we went shopping, and she was buying girly things, face pack and makeup and whatever. We went to Conway on the Monday evening, and on the Tuesday, me and Gemma had taken Marley, her dog, to the beach on Conway, and we'd been there in October after, and Marley loved the beach. And he must have had this thing in his mind that said, oh, I know where I am. And off he went. As soon as he saw the sand, that was it, he went. But what he didn't realise was the tide was in. Oh. So he's petrified of water best of times, and he's just literally ran straight into the water, stopped, turned around and looked at us as if to say help, and then ran back. And Gemma was, you know when you laugh from your belly?
Yes.
She had a leg up in the air, and she laughed so much at him. I'll never forget that. That's one of the best memories I've got of Gemma. From there we walked into Conway town. We went to Gemma's favourite chippy, which is like down a little alleyway, and did a bit of shopping in Conway town, and came back, and then unfortunately that's when she started being poorly.
So when you actually found out what was happening with Gemma, like, how did you react the first time?
My first reaction, well, if I'm being honest, I was sick. That was my first reaction, because I knew...
Like physically sick?
Yeah, because I had heard of toxic shock. My husband had no idea what it was. And the first thing I said was that she was on a period and she was using tampons. When she was in Wigan Infirmary, they couldn't get any fluids into her or antibiotics, they couldn't get any lines in, and they had to intubate her. And we were then told that they would transfer her to Manchester Children's Hospital, where they had more specialist equipment to look after her. When we arrived at Manchester Children's Hospital, things just took a turn for the worse. And we were told to bring family in to say goodbye. They put her on ECMO at Alder Hay, and straight away you could see a colour came back. And she just generally, I mean, she was unconscious all the time, but she just looked better. She started fighting the infection. The ECMO takes over the work of your heart and lungs. So it kind of gives the heart and lungs a rest while her body fights the infection. And she did start to get better very, very slowly. And on the Thursday, they said to us that they would start bringing her off the drugs and look at taking her off the ECMO machine on Friday morning. On Friday morning, she took a turn for the worse and she had a massive bleed to her brain. And that's when we were told that there was nothing else they could do.
How did you all feel when you found out that Gemma had passed?
I don't think it really sank in, if I'm being honest. What they said to us was, because of the bleed to her brain, she was actually brain dead, but she was still on all the machines. So we kind of sat with her for 24 hours knowing that she wasn't with us anymore. And it was horrific.
How did the rest of the family react to the news?
I've asked myself this question a number of times. I mean, both her granddads were absolutely devastated. Yeah. And my dad just kept saying, why her, why not me? As in him. Her brother was only 11 at the time and he was staying with friends. And to this day, I don't know who told Joseph. Really? Yeah, I have no idea who told Joseph what had happened, or how they told him, or how he reacted. Obviously, in the days after, again, we were just in a daze. It doesn't register. You just keep thinking, she's going to walk through the door or it's a bad dream. You wake up every morning and think it was a bad dream and everything's fine.
So what charities or pages have you done for in memory of Gemma?
I don't know. I didn't start with the intention to raise a lot of money. We just said for Gemma's funeral, make donations, and that was where it would go to. And then one of Gemma's friends from school, Harrison, approached me and said he was doing the Manchester Colour Run and could he do it in memory of Gemma? So I said, yeah, no problem. And then Joseph said, a brother, said, can I do it? So I said, yeah, if you want to. And then my goddaughter said, well, I'll do it as well. And then before we knew it, we had 100 people on a coach going to the Colour Run at Manchester. In total, we've raised just over £40,000 for older age children's charities. And that's when we started raising funds and awareness of sepsis and toxic shock syndrome.
So can you talk a bit about, like, Gemma's name being in the sand, like, 'cause it was all over, wasn't it?
That started because one of Gemma's favourite places was Conway. We'd been quite a few times and rented a cottage on the marina. And she loved taking Marley on the beach. And my friend Michelle, who's Gemma's godmother, in-laws have got a cottage there as well. And Michelle had gone with a few of her friends for a girly weekend, and I just said to her, if you get a chance, would you write Gemma's name on the beach? Don't know why I asked, I just did. And they actually went at night in the pyjamas. So they wrote Gemma's name in the sand, and then I just thought how nice it would be for other people to do that when they were going on their holidays.
Yeah.
And that's really how it started. I put it on Facebook, put it on Gemma's page on Facebook, asking people to just write Gemma's name in the sand. I've not counted them. I stopped counting when we got to 500. She's had a name written in every continent apart from Antarctica because that's got snow. But there's people that I don't even know who've wrote Gemma's name in the sand and forwarded it on to me. People who know somebody who knew somebody who knew somebody kind of thing.
Yeah. What is some of the support which you've received from the public or friends and families?
You don't realise until something like this happens just how many good people there are out there. I've been really touched by the kindness of a lot of people that I don't even know. When I first went public with Gemma's story, when I said we suspected it was toxic shock syndrome caused by tampons, I had a letter from the Director of Children's Services at Wigan Council just basically telling me how impressed he was with the article that had gone in the newspaper. But they've also sent out leaflets to all schools and colleges in the borough about toxic shock syndrome and sepsis and the signs and symptoms to look out for.
Do you hand out leaflets to schools and everything, or do you go to talk to the schools?
I have been in schools and spoke to groups of girls. I did speak at Sepsis Unplugged in Birmingham, which was a conference which was mainly for professionals, and they asked me to speak as a parent who'd lost a child. It's changed my life a lot. It's made me reevaluate who I am. It's made me reevaluate everything. You're only here once, make the most of it.